Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Non-Scripted Ramblings. I'm Kendall Richardson, thank you so much for joining me. I am here today to bring you my spoiler-free review of Shang-Chi, or I should really say Shang-Chi. I need to now pronounce it correctly, now that I know. Now that I've seen the movie and they say Shang. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Finally got to see it. Lockdowns here in Melbourne prevented me from seeing it when it originally came out back in September. So now I finally, nearly 2 months later, had the chance to check it out. And yeah, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was brilliant. It definitely lives up to the hype that people have been saying online. You know, that they're not lying, really. It was so much fun from start to finish. Yeah, I liked it more than Black Widow, I think I'll say, which is a shame to admit because, I mean, if you guys have seen my videos before, you'll know that the Black Widow film meant a lot to me. It does mean a lot to me. But for some reason, this was just, I don't know. This was just a better movie, I guess. Yeah. It was just, you know, it was, I can't really pinpoint it. It was just very, very entertaining from start to finish. You know, it was very well paced, and the action scenes were fantastic. Like, yeah, like Iron Fist 2. Yeah, the action was fantastic. The visual effects were great. The visuals in general were pretty gorgeous across the board. And the performances from the whole cast were just great as well. And it was just wildly funny. Like it's probably one of the funniest Marvel films I've seen in a while, which is so interesting. I was not expecting it to be that funny. Like laughing multiple times, cackling, like howling in the cinema. We all were. It was great. It was really great. It's probably the funniest Marvel film since Thor Ragnarok, I would say. Yeah, I think as a comparison. Not as funny as Ragnarok, because Ragnarok is pretty much a superhero comedy film. But yeah, could give it a run for its money in some areas. Yeah, so I don't really know how much I can say without spoiling it. I am going to be doing a separate video if you want to know my thoughts on all of the nitty gritty, all of the spoilery things. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, it was just great. Like it's, you know, we're into phase 4 now. We're in it. You know, this is film number 2, and it's I just really liked it. Simu, who plays Shang-Chi, does such a great job. I am here for him. Give me more of him, please. He is just wonderful. He completely nailed it. I can see why. I mean, you know, we all know Marvel casts pretty fantastically. Like 9.5 times out of 10, they nail the casting, and they have a great penchant for choosing actors that aren't really known on the world stage. I still laugh about that one article about Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston being cast in Thor. The headline was literally like, Marvel rolls the dice, casts no names for Thor. And look where we are now. So yeah, so the fact that we're introducing these, you know, this new generation of, you know, MCU superheroes, and we have more actors being featured, you know, that we don't really know. I mean, Eternals, I'm going to do a video for that as well, but Eternals is similar. Like, we have some big names in that, obviously, but we have some new fresh faces that we've never seen, really, so that's exciting. So it's great. It's, you know, give some new faces a chance to spread their wings and show the world what they can do, and Simu does that perfectly. He's just brilliant. He's charming, he's all how relatable on so many levels. Can bring the heat in a fight. Like that bus sequence you see in the trailer in the film, it is like 10 times better. I did not expect it to be that good and go on for as long as it did. It was great. So it's probably my favorite fight sequence in the whole film, I reckon. It was so good. And it's appropriate. It's like the first time you see Shang-Chi actually take on some enemies. So it's a nice kind of, you know, way to open up the world of the film to, okay, this is what he's capable of. So I loved that quite a bit. Yeah, and then he's funny. I mean, you know, he and Awkwafina have a wonderful rapport on screen, great chemistry as two best friends, living in San Francisco and being young and stupid and irresponsible and, you know, all of that stuff. But yeah, they have this great kind of comedic dynamic as well, that they play off each other quite nicely. So I really enjoyed all the scenes with the two of them together. I think were some of my favourite scenes. Awkwafina I'm a big fan of. I've seen most of her stuff, like most of her films that she's been in, like Ocean's 8 and Ryan the Last Dragon. I actually haven't seen Crazy Rich Asians. I really should watch that. I'm not a huge... I mean, I know it's a rom-com, I suppose, but I'm not a huge, like, romance film fan, so I haven't really gone out of my way. But because everyone was, like, hyping it up so much, I was like, I don't know if I want to jump on the bandwagon, but I think I should. I think I should give it a go, because the cast in that is pretty wonderful. And yeah, Awkwafina's in that as well. But yeah, I'm a big fan of her stuff. I think she's hysterical, so it was really nice to see her in the MCU in this film. Yeah, I don't know what else I can say without spoiling it. I mean, it does such a great job of being a standalone film, but also connecting, you know, laying the threads of connective tissue down, going forward. It does a really good job of that. Like, it doesn't make you go... It's not like an Age of Ultron situation where they're like, okay, here's the movie, but more importantly, here's what's coming. Like, it doesn't do that. It balances it quite nicely. I mean, it's mostly a self-contained family story, really, when it comes down to it. And then we get kind of little hints at things from other movies prior, and movies that we're going to be seeing soon, and, you know, so I'm very much looking forward to the sequel. There's definitely going to be a sequel coming for this. I would be very surprised if Marvel decided not to do a Shang-Chi 2. Shang-Chi 2? Oh my god, forgive me. Shang-Chi 2. Try saying that really fast. It's like Thor 4. Yeah, it's definitely happening. And yeah, I can't wait for it. I cannot wait for it. Yeah, it's good. No, this was just so much fun. I'm just gonna keep saying that because it really was. It was great. It was really great. I can't really fault it on too many spots, to be honest. Like, it's not a perfect film. But there isn't anything that kind of stood out to me as like, I'm nitpicking this sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it doesn't spend too much time, in terms of like Endgame Fallout, doesn't spend too much time dealing with the blip or the decimation or the snapping or whatever you like to call it. You know, we get a reference to it at the beginning of the movie. That's kind of about it. So I don't know. I feel like maybe the TV shows on Disney Plus are going to spend more time dealing with their Fallout. Maybe. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see in Hawkeye when that comes out as well. But yeah, I don't know. I really want to see more of it explored, but I guess maybe that's not what Phase 4 is going to be about. But needless to say, I'm very excited to see how Shang-Chi connects going forward, because it's setting up some pretty cool stuff, which I will get into in my spoiler video. But until then, yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I'm excited to do my spoiler review because there's a lot of cool stuff that I really want to talk about, so I'm going to get into that shortly. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my spoiler-free review of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. So glad to have finally seen it. Finally. It finally happened. Oh, gosh. Okay, alright, that's it for me. Until next time, I've been a Kendall Richardson, and you've just experienced non-scripted ramblings.